Hi everyone, we are FreeSpirit Fabrics. We are here to do an inspired by for Sea Sisters for Shell Rummel. We're really excited that you've joined us today. Send us hearts, send us thumbs up as we go through this collection. We are here today with Debbie Stark, our creative director. She is going to walk us through the beautiful designs that Shell has created for this collection. And she's going to give us a little bit more insight as to how the collection came to be and how the designs came to be for the whole collection, which will be very, very nice. There are a total of 12 SKUs in this collection, or 12 designs. We interchange them. We call them SKUs and we call them designs. They're one and the same. So there are 12 designs, and there is one 108-inch quilt back, and we are excited to show all of these wonderful designs with you today. This collection ships in August of this year, and there's also a couple of quilts at the end that we're going to show you. And there's a kit that is also delivering with this collection in September of this year that we're going to show you. So we're very excited about all of this. Again, I'm here with Debbie Stark. I'm in the design room here in the Charlotte office, and Sarah Asby is behind the other camera that we're going to switch over to show you this collection. If you have any questions, send them along to us. Kristen's going to be on. She's going to be answering some questions while we're here. And hopefully if there's anything that we haven't answered for you, we will get some information back on what those questions are. So without further ado, I'm going to switch the camera over to Debbie Stark. So hold on a second because she's not on yet. So hold on. Let me see. How do I do this? My goodness, this happens to me every time. Debbie, I'll switch over to you 1 minute. Hold on. Here it is. There's Debbie. You're on now.
Thank you, Sharon. Well, first of all, I want to say Shell is so sad she's unable to join us today. She was really looking forward to doing Inspired by with Sharon, but unfortunately she had some personal issues she needed to attend to. So I'm second best, I guess, but I love working with Shell and I love working with our inspiration team because they make all the magic happen once the design process is done. So before we go into each piece or design or SKU as we refer to it in the collection, I want to read to you Shell's inspiration for the collection, Sea Sisters. The ocean, with its changing colors, fluid movement, and shoreline surprises, is my constant muse. This collection honors the many women in my life who love and value the depth of beauty in the coastline as much as I do. We are connected through small moments, conversations, and shared admiration. I am often in awe of their talents, especially when my fabrics become part of something more. I hope these organic, modern coastal patterns of waves, tide lines, and ocean elements that all originate from my watercolor paintings speak to my sea sisters near and far and inspire and spark their own boundless creativity. She's so eloquent, and I always call her my sister from another mother. I just love Shell to death. I love her work. I think she's a beautiful coastal designer with this incredible amount of sophistication to her design work. We have taken her watercolor elements and we have produced them onto fabric, and we've chosen to do it digitally. In order to get the nuances and the textural color variations within each design, it's almost impossible in an engraved traditional printing. So we've decided to do digital printing. We think that it really speaks to the whole collection. And you'll see how beautifully we go from one pattern to the next and how it really does resonate with the ocean, the tides, the serenity, the tranquility. It really allows you an escape from the life that you live every day. So I hope you enjoy playing with these, creating with these, and making beautiful quilts. The first SKU we have here is called Sanibel, and it makes me think of Sanibel Island in Florida, a beautiful, beautiful vacation resort area. And I just love the colors and the variations. You'll see all this beautiful watercolor texture as we move from these beautiful sort of pinky taupes to more of the grays and then into these beautiful soft blues of the ocean. We go from Sanibel, which is just a great coordinate print, to Little Dunes. And Little Dunes is just a really good tonal neutral to bring the entire collection together. We've run this selvage to selvage, so the line work goes across the selvage, and we consider it a horizontal design. We then move into the next piece, which is called Seawall. And I just feel like this is sea glass, just encapsulated in the ocean walls. You see the beautiful blues and the greens and the grays. So I just think it's really, really beautiful. It's a dot without being a dot. It's a little more interesting than that. And you get this beautiful, subtle changes of color and tonality. Really, really special. From there, we move into the shallows. And into the shallows is reminiscent of the first pattern we looked at. You just see like this interaction and intertwining of these beautiful designs and motifs. You can almost see shell-like designs within the pattern, but it's not so specific that it has to only be for coastal interest or for your vacation home. This is just a really sophisticated, beautiful, tranquil palette to play with. From there, we go to urchins. I know none of us love sea urchins, but what a great pattern. It almost feels like flowers of the ocean. You see all these wonderful tones and textures and the way the urchins sort of intertwine with each other. It's kind of that theme throughout the whole collection as we move forward. And from there, we go into crest. And crest, you can just imagine the ocean waves sort of crashing as it hits the sand coastline. It's just really beautiful. A lot of movement, a lot of texture, and yet it's not overly blue. It's not overly in your face. It's really soft and beautiful. And of course, what would a collection be without a beautiful floral? And here we have coastal wildflowers. And I think if you're familiar with Shell's art at all, and of course she can be found all over the home dec world in quilts and pillows and rugs. Her rug collections are gorgeous, as well as beautiful artwork for the walls. You'll see a lot of this is very reminiscent of what she does across all categories of products. But you'll see these beautiful flowers and the soft leaves. It almost looks like you can feel a dragonfly in there. I know it's not a dragonfly, but whenever I look at this, it makes me laugh because I feel like it's just this little dragonfly. And Sharon, I think you would agree with me. Swirl is just sort of a really groovy, fun print. While it's very flowing and it's got so much curve work, you can almost find this horizontal line that works throughout it, as well as this vertical line. It's really, really very interesting. A great piece. And then this is just dunes. We had small dunes in the beginning, which was the beige coloration. And this is obviously much more reminiscent of the ocean in this beautiful tealy, turquoisey blue coloration. And this one runs vertical. So you can cut this up for border pieces and all kinds of interesting use and without having to do a lot of piecework. So we find that, you know, oftentimes we'll take a pattern that we really love and we'll turn it so that there are two very advantageous ways to use it. Yeah, thank you. Of course, you always have some input there too, Sharon. So as we move into this is my personal favorite. It's called Low Tide. And I'm gonna maybe just open it up a little bit more. And to me, I love these ongoing, you know, a lot of people would call this a panel. I call it running yardage because wherever you cut it, it is so interesting and so beautiful. And for those makers that may not like doing a lot of piecework, I find that you can take a yard of this and stretch it over a canvas and you have an instant, beautiful, tranquil, escape-like wall art. You can take a piece of it, you could get a yard and you could just machine quilt it and you could just quilt some of the motifs and you have an instant kind of easy project without having to do a lot of the legwork. And especially if you're not that confident in piecework or applique work, it's a great alternative. And no matter where you cut this running yardage, it is just beautiful. I think you would agree.
Yes, I totally agree.
And then as we move on from there, the next one is Ocean Fragments. And again, this is one of those pieces that was created. It runs vertical to the selvage. So it is great for border pieces. You can see where you get these incredible stripes. But again, wouldn't it be just beautiful to buy a yard or 2 yards and make this incredible wall hanging? Or, you know, make a bed skirt for the bottom of your bed. It is just beautiful. And I know Sharon's got some really interesting inspirational ideas on how to utilize each and every one of these pieces to its max. That's really beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. Very nice. The collection is so beautiful and I'm a huge fan. I love her work. So very relaxing, it just allows you to escape. to bring your mind somewhere else. And in this day, yes, more peaceful. And in this day and age when we're all so busy, it's nice to take a step back. And then last but not least, we've got cloud cover. This is the 12th SKU or design or pattern in the collection. And it's just a great all over coordinate. It's sort of a no print texture. Sits in the background. It's really, really very beautiful. And I said it was last but not least, but we do have our quilt back. And we love quilt backs. Shell loves our quilt backs. It's 108 inches. It's printed on traditional 60 squares, but it has the most beautiful hand. And this one too is digitally printed. We don't normally digitally print our quilt backs, but again, because of all of this tonality and we wanted the smoothness of her work to come through, it was best to print it digitally. Super beautiful. Again, this is one of those pieces where I say, buy 3 yards, buy 6 yards, and make a duvet cover. Make coordinating shams. A duvet cover is easy. You know, seam all 3 sides and put buttons on the top or a zipper, and voila, you've got an instant new bedding, and then you can make your coordinating wall quilt or a beautiful quilt to put on top. There's so many endless uses for her work. It's just beautiful.
Beautiful collection.
Yes.
So, you know, thank you, Debbie. I know you're
share?
not done. You're going to probably have to say something else.
Oh, you know, I will. I can't shut up for too long.
Well, I just wanted to show everyone this too, because Sarah, you can show this one. So that Debbie just talked about this cloud cover. I mean, if you do a lot of, you know, what am I trying to say? The scenes, the natural scene art quilts, this would be a great sky, you know, a great fabric to pick up specifically for that.
Yep.
And then when you're talking about the quilt back that Debbie just talked about, definitely duvets. I mean, you got to think not only quilting, we're going to show you very amazing quilts that are done with this collection, but think of home deck. So whether it's a duvet cover or shams, if you didn't want to do that, if you made the quilt and you wanted to make a dust ruffle out of this and do your shams, there's just so many different things that you could do, and especially, you know, for your home, you know, even if you're not at the beach.
Even if you're not at the beach, I think this just lends itself to an escape. And your room should be your sanctuary. And to me, this is a no-brainer. Like, it just allows you to go after a long day of work and relax.
Right. And then Debbie also talked about this one with the design, the running yardage of this. I mean, whether you used it as a whole piece quilt, you just quilted it, made it for the wall, you know, wall art. You just wanted to do it that way. This is a great piece for that. Again, you could look at this. Now, this is a 44 width versus the 108. So again, you could still do duvets. You could still do bigger pieces if you wanted to for bedding. But, you know, the 108 is very nice because you don't have to piece it together. But this would be beautiful as well. And I was also thinking clothing. This would make a beautiful dress. This would make beautiful pillows. You could do a body pillow. Or you could also do bags. It would be very nice.
Oh, it'd be a beautiful bag.
Right.
But I think apparel would be gorgeous. And I think what's interesting too is, regardless of where you cut in here, if you look at this, to me, this reminds me of the scales on a fish. Wouldn't that be a really interesting applique onto something else, whether it's a bag utilizing the rest of the fabric, and then you do an applique fish of some sort. This incredible sea glass textured area is just beautiful. It's moody and colorful and just adds another layer to the whole collection.
It's really beautiful. So we've got the team, Debbie and her team, and Shell, and everybody did a great job. We did the lights, mediums, and darks.
We did.
Which makes it very important for quilters. And so I
small, medium, and large scale too, I hope.
That's right. Small, medium, large scale as well. So you guys have checked all the boxes.
Thank you.
So
thank you. Well, we appreciate you, and we often say, Sharon, Sarah, can you come in and take a look at something? Because we want to make sure that the collection is cohesive enough, especially with artists that we work with that maybe are not long-time quilters, that don't necessarily understand quilt making. That's not the case with Shell. Shell has really immersed herself into the quilt world. She's doing some incredible work right now. She loves to play, and she understands the importance of light, medium, and dark, small, medium, and large. But it's always great to get an extra eye like yours. You know, we know that you work with a lot of makers, and it's important that there's success. I mean, we don't want people struggling or we've not done our job well.
Right.
So,
well, this collection checks all the boxes.
Thank you.
Very nice job.
Awesome.
So we would like to just move on and show you a couple of quilts. Now, these are, I'm going to show you this. So this is our sales folder. We have some real quilts to show, but I wanted to show you. So we work with Shell with the inspiration. And so this quilt right here, we don't have made, but here's a picture of it. All of these quilts for Shell's collection are designed by Natalie Crabtree. And Natalie has a very nice understanding of Shell and her collections, and she really captures Shell's aesthetic when it comes to creating quilts. And we really enjoy working with her for that reason. And so this quilt here is called the Fluidity Quilt. Again, designed by Natalie. It's 72 by 72. You can't tell that obviously from this card, but I was thinking of that other fabric. This one, what's this one called? It kind of reminded me of
low tide.
No.
Oh, this one.
Yeah,
sorry, this one is Ocean Fragments.
Right, so the Ocean Fragments, it's almost like this quilt played off of that. So the way that it was done. So it wasn't just, you know, the use of this fabric, it's use of many different designs from the collection that kind of create the illusion of that fabric in this quilt. And I know that Shell liked it for that reason. And then we have this one here, Beach Pebbles Quilt. This is a 60 by 60. This pattern, actually both of these patterns will be available on Shell's website. So if you were interested in making either one of these quilts, you'd have to go to etsy.com shop Shell Rummel. So as a shop owner, as a shop owner, you would go to Shell and purchase both of these patterns. Then on the back, now we do have this quilt. So I want you to see, we're going to bring you out there in 1 second to see the real life quilt. So this is called What the Tide Brings In. And this again, designed by Natalie Crabtree. This is a large quilt you'll see when Sarah walks out with the camera and you get to see it. It's 78 by 84. And this quilt will actually be available, the pattern will be available on the FreeSpirit website in August of 2023. So this collection ships in August. The pattern will be up in August, and you can capture the pattern there and make this quilt. And once you see it, we have a little bit more to tell you about it when we show you out there. It's pretty amazing. The other thing I just want you to see is, again, to look at the virtual image here, and then we're going to walk out here now. Sarah's going to bring us out. What I want you to see is how beautiful the quilt looks. So to go from the virtual image and then to go to real life, the quilt is really created. So look at this. I don't want to give it away. Look at how gorgeous this quilt is. So this is called What the Tide Brings In. Again, like I said, it's a 78 by 84, so it's a good size quilt. That would be gorgeous on the top of a bed. Again, using some of Shell's fabrics as coordinates, you know, to do your extra accessories for the bed. But what I particularly like about this quilt is, and a lot of makers don't do this, is this fabric right here is actually the 108-inch quilt back. So you can see how you can actually incorporate not just the collection. So, you know, the clams up here all have the collection in it, have, you know, beautiful, you know, solid to settle down the quilt, shows, you know, makes all the designs from the collection really showcase and play beautifully against one another. But I just think this is so interesting to have used the 108-inch quilt back on the front of the quilt.
And then you use the fragments, which is that border-like design that we talked about that runs vertical in the yardage. So that's really beautiful.
Yeah. And Natalie, she, like I said, she interprets Shell's collection so nicely, and we really enjoy working with her. Here, I'm going to try and scoop below Sarah. I'm not in the way, but then you can see at the back of the quilt. So here's the quilt back, you know, so you see how beautiful does this look. Whoops, dropping that. There's the 108-inch quilt back, and then you can see it here coming right down the front of the quilt. So very nice. You know, I always think it's very clever when a quilt back is used on the front of a quilt, because I know sometimes it's difficult to coordinate, but in this it works beautifully and it's done very nice. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? That's what I was afraid was going to happen. I'm hoping they can hear me. I don't know if I have to start over or not. The team's letting me know you couldn't hear me.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to talk about this quilt because I don't think you were able to hear some of the things that I said. So again, this quilt is called What the Tide Brings In. What I think is so interesting about it is here, this particular fabric right here is the 108-inch quilt back used on the front of a quilt, on the front of this quilt with the collection and all of the clams. So very nicely done, look fabulous on a bed. I don't know, I love this quilt. I just think it's great.
Well, I love the idea that they've used the clamshell on Sea Sisters, which is
Right.
inspired by the ocean. I mean, I think it's just clever.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's clever, but it's not novelty. It's not hokey. It's just really sophisticated and beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And look at how beautifully it's quilted too.
Yep.
I mean, all those scallops are quilted so nicely. Sarah, who made this? Was this this was Nancy Carney, and it was quilted by Janelle. Janelle Rutz quilted this, so very nicely done. They did a very nice job on this quilt. Okay, and then the last quilt that we would like to show you is over here. So this is the kit that we were talking about. So the kit is actually going to ship in September. Are we in your way?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in your way.
I just want to show the whole quilt. Oh, okay. Let me get next to Debbie.
Why don't you
so
guys
they
get
can
behind
hear me. Okay. So Sarah's showing you the whole quilt. So this is called Sea Urchins. This is a quilt kit that we've put together for this collection. This is a 66-inch square quilt. This again would look very nice placed on a bed. If you made a duvet out of the 108 and place this just to lay on top of the bed as an accent piece in the room, you could certainly hang it behind the bed. You could hang it on a wall anywhere in your home, whether it be your beach house and or your regular home, for a little bit of peace and serenity in a room. Beautiful neutral colors. This quilt is foundation paper pieced. So as a kit, the kit will include all of the fabric to make this quilt top. It will have the foundation papers in the kit in order to execute the blocks of this quilt. And there will also be 2 template pieces in the kit. So this is shipping in September, like I said, of this year. The collection ships in August. And I want to show you, this is what the kit is kind of going to look like. We're almost there with it. It's all packaged. You can see all the fabric, so it will come shipped like this. The only thing that's different is there's going to be a little bit of a different cover to it. But again, looking at a virtual image, or is this the real photography? I can't remember.
It's
real photography of this one. And then here's the quilt. I mean, there's 2, this looks great. This is beautiful. It really captures the quilt very nicely. But to see the quilt up close and impersonal, I don't know, and in person, Sarah, I don't know if you want to get closer to it at all to show. And Betsy Westover did this quilt. She pieced it and she quilted it, and she really did a beautiful job. So we hope that you're excited about all of this. What else did I want to say? Is there anything that I missed, Sarah, Debbie? Did I cover? Did I check all of my boxes?
You always check all of your boxes.
To be ordered by a particular date.
That's what I need to say. So thank you, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
So the cutoff to order this kit for the Sea Urchins is April 17th. So if you are a retailer and you're watching us right now, you need to get in touch with your sales rep and you need to try and get your order placed as soon as possible, because the cutoff to order the kit is April 17th, which is coming up. And then the collection is going to be, the order to run production will be the end of April.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are interested in buying the collection, we recommend that you again get in touch with your sales rep, order the collection and the kit, because people are going to come in and they're going to want to do all these accessories that we've talked about making to go with all of these beautiful quilts that we've shown you. And the last thing that I want to say is that if you're a maker and you're watching and you are interested in this collection, to please get in touch with your local quilt shop. Let them know that you saw this inspired by, you totally love this collection and you want them to bring it into the shop. Please order it. So get in touch with your local retailer. Let her know, there's a kit. You're definitely interested in the kit. You'd love to see more of the collection in the shop. Please order it. Again, then the retailer will get in touch with their rep so we can get all the orders placed and have plenty of fabric for everybody. We know this is going to be a very popular collection. So again, collection ships in August of 2023. The kit ships in September of 2023, and cutoffs are very soon. So please place your orders soon. All right. So I think I've covered everything for today. So thank you, Miss Sarah. I'd have you turn the camera on yourself. Maybe I should do that. She's saying no. All right. And thank you to Debbie.
Thank you for having me, Sharon.
Well, we're very glad that you came in. We wish that Shell could have been with us.
I do too. It's always better from the designer, but
I
this
know,
was
but-
fun and it was a great opportunity to participate with you. So thank you.
Thank you. We love having you. So
Thank
Debbie
you.
and her design team here, they work really hard. We all work really hard. So I'm going to sign off. And if you have any questions, just let us know and we will do our best to answer them in the comments today. And thank you for joining us. Send us lots of love and hearts. And we look forward to hearing and seeing everything that you have to say about this collection. Have a great day.